we're supposed to cover only the installation and the database creation. Those one are not, are not complicated. So the group that was supposed to present today, which is Buffer team, they will just walk us through, the high level step of what they did. Okay. And we can take questions and also we can take issues. Okay. And later on, I think around 6:30 or 7 p.m. As announced on last Friday, as I announced on last Friday, one of our elder brother in the IT world, database administration world, because I know some of us have done IT, different field. One of our elder brother in the database administration world from Brontech, we come and, he has some words to say. He has some touch to share with you guys. And once he logs in, I will let him know. He already updated me that between 6:30 and 7, he will join the session. So at that time, when he joins, please feel free to ask him any question. It can be Brontech related or environment related. So you can prepare your questions for him so that, you will not get your answers only from one person, okay, which is me. It's always good to hear from others how, how the work environment is. Is this thing real? Okay. Yeah, any type of question he will try to answer. And sometimes, as I said, right, he will always help some of us. He helped me to overcome, or some challenges I was going through, either as a student, as you guys at this level, or when I was looking for jobs. He, among multiple others, always came, to Brontech, motivating us, guiding us through the interview process, what we should be doing, good practices. And that is what some of the practices, that's what I'm always forwarding to classes whenever I'm teaching. Those practices, that's what I'm always sharing, okay? So that we can also have a better experience while looking for jobs and also after we have the job. So yes, he will come later, okay? But in the meantime, please send me your server name. That means the server in which you guys work on as a group. I will just take 1 minute to cross-check, right? Make sure that all the software have been installed and to see what is missing. So the group can start, okay? Whenever you guys are ready, while you guys are presenting what you have, what you did, maybe challenging you encounter. I don't know, anything you guys prepare for us. Other groups, please send me what you work on, okay? That means I'm talking about Silver Screen Group. I'm waiting for your update. Landover Group, I'm waiting for your update. Lanham Group, I'm waiting for your update. Why Buffer Team is walking us through the installation software. Okay? Does it make sense?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Koji is here? Not yet. Okay. Anyway, once he joins, I know he will ask me some stuff. Okay. If there's no question, then we can start, right? Please. There's no question, we can start.
Natalie. Natalie.
Yes, I'm here.
You want to take it?
I'll try.
We here too.
I don't believe we didn't prepare any PowerPoint for this, so I don't believe there were any we're supposed to prepare any anyway. So let's see, pulled up.
I don't need PowerPoint. We don't need PowerPoint, Just maybe if you guys build some script or you build some step, you were following some step, anything, if you don't even have those steps, you can even show out on the server, okay, what you guys had to create in order for you to install. That's the only thing we need, okay? We don't need PowerPoint.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that can.
Okay, so actually we use an existing software installation script that we edited to fit each Oracle software that we installed. So for each one of them, we just tweaked a little bit, changed the Oracle home in which we installed the Oracle tools, and as well as the bash profile.
Hold on, Natalie. Let me ask. Who's the host? Renata, can I share?
Yeah, Patrick, you can go ahead and share your screen.
All right, thank you. So Natalie is talking about this. We use this. Go ahead, Natalie.
That's
oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I put up the wrong one. Yes, we use this one.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So everything we have before checking for an existing for the existing packages or available for the Oracle software is just some pre-checks to check the system we're using, or the host, the host name, the version of Oracle, and all of that good stuff. So we know that to if we didn't have any packages already installed, normally using our Oracle account, we have to go and download it from there, install it on our servers, store them in our designated directories before we start with the pre-installation verifications. We ran the yum install. Actually, packages from the yum install were downloaded when we run the yum install Oracle RDBMS server 11G for the 11G version or 12C for the 12C version. We did install some packages. I don't know, I didn't have a chance to copy that and actually paste. I'm not sure any of us actually did. But yes, we did have some packages installed, and after that we ran the verification using the yum install validated to validate, make sure everything is available for us to start the installation. For the 11.2.0.1, we created a directory for that. As the root user, we changed ownership to Oracle and then gave permission for the directory U01. We seeded into home/Oracle and created a bash profile. In the bash profile, we set the necessary configuration, which is the Oracle home, the path, the host name, the Oracle base bin, and all of that for each one of the software that we installed. Make sure you change your student ID, since each student ID is particular to each one of us. Before we started the installation for each one of the software, you set the bash profile, .bash underscore profile is to set or source the Oracle home for each particular software. So after that, we seeded into the downloads directory. We already had the Oracle packages. I don't know if I should call it binary installed, like I said. So we seeded into each one of them. The Oracle underscore 12c for the 12c version, the 11.2.0.3 underscore software for the enhanced version of the 11.2.0.1, and then the Oracle Database 11G release 2. So hold on, Mr. Patrick, scroll down a little bit. Let me see.
Down or up?
I always get confused with that one. Go up on your screen. Go to the top. Yeah, towards the top. Yeah. Okay. So the change ownership and the change the mode for U01 was done for the first software in the 11.2.0.1 directory. But for
No, it's not here.
for the 12C and the 11.2.0.3, ownership was given to Oracle in the /ORAData/U01 for the first one, and then for /ORAData for the second one. Okay, scroll down. What? Move down the script. Let me see. Yeah, keep going.
Oh, okay.
So feeding into the downloads where you find all the software versions packages, we seeded into each one of them and ran the run installer. Let's see. Okay, so when you run the run installer, scroll down. Please scroll down. Okay, so when you run the run installer, you have a graphic interface pop up for your configuration. You select the edition, the instance. We use a single instance. We did install only the software, and we did the database configuration or creation after that. So for each one of them, we just install the software. You select the language, which is already pre-selected. You validate your Oracle home and your Oracle base. There will be a list of reviews you have to run. For the first installation, 2 root.sh scripts, and for the ones that come after that, just 1. So yeah, that's pretty much what we did. And we also try to understand each and every one of those steps. Mhm.
You guys also created a pro database?
Yes,
we did.
we did create a pro database
Okay.
through DBCA.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you for your speaking. It was so wonderful. And when was it created? We did the software. We created the database, and we confront for one problem. One was go to the NetScar to create the listener, and when we created the listener, we found out most of the member from my group, we found out we not have file to TNS name. Maybe some people found out there's a problem, but for resolve this problem, we did it. You can create the exist one, but this case we install three software and we not have it. But for this case, when we did it, we go to the client machine, we go find out this the client machine, the TNS name, we copy and we change the information and we running, we reload the listening is working very well. If some people, that's the way you can resolve it if you don't know. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you again for this speech. It was so wonderful.
okay. Okay. When you guys created the database, you guys did not create a listener along the database?
We created the database and 11.2.0.1.
Okay.
Most of the time we create this one and DBCA.
Uh-huh.
When we create DBCA, I don't think so it give us option to create the listener, but we create the listener manually to NetScar.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, that is normal, right? Even when you guys were on GB1, I think someone showed you guys that normally the software doesn't come with a listener already created. So you guys had to go, but there's always a directory called samples directory, right? There's always directory there, sample.
Yes, sir.
Right. I think someone showed you how to use the sample, because you go to that sample, you will see the listener, the TNS, and the sequencing.ora. All those files, you will see the sample there. So another person can just go there, copy, and use that sample, right? You create the TNS names.ora, the sequencing.ora, and the listener.ora. It's possible to do that as well.
Yeah.
Netcar is also good option. Net Manager also good. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
For you. All right, no problem. Okay.
Gaetan,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't want to cut
Yes.
you, but
Yeah.
I was trying to understand the use of the etc/hosts of the host
Okay.
file.
Uh-huh.
I did find, I'm not sure I understand well, but I did find something on it that talks about the host name or.
Yes. Yes, that file is, what you guys are doing, when it comes to Oracle installation, there are a lot of prerequisites that has to be met. People who build server from scratch can understand better what I'm talking about. So they say we have a team, okay? Unless you are the only one assigned to do that in your environment, that means they give you the GB, a server, and they ask you to build it from scratch. Some people can do that. Some company, very rare company can do that. But most of the time, you will be surrounded by other team members, okay? You can have the sysadmin involved, the network admin, the storage admin, okay? So we also have people from the application team. You have a lot of team involved in the environment, okay? DevOps team, all other teams member. When it comes to servers, each person has his own, own task when it comes to building or installing Oracle software. By default on a server, okay, once we install an operating system, we have only one user, which is the root user. So it means that there is no other users other than the root user. So it means that someone has to create other users. Example of other users, Oracle user. Okay. When we get to Rack, I will talk about another type of user called grid user. So normally, unless they give you that root privilege, right? Normally, you won't have that root privilege. So the sysadmin will be creating, those users, the Oracle user itself, and that Oracle user will have a profile. Okay, we have a profile. That means, resource limit, how much resources that user can use, how many processes Oracle user can use, the maximum number of processes, a lot of other metrics. Okay, the permissions. So that is what the sysadmin does. The sysadmin does, we create the Oracle user, we also create a group. That's why you guys have GBA group. We have GBA group, we have other group you guys can see at the OS level. That's not the only thing the sysadmin will do. The sysadmin will also, make sure that the disks are also available. They will partition the disk, map the disk with the file system. That's why you guys can see ORATAP, you can see download directory, because it has been done by sysadmin. Otherwise, you will not have a mount point available, except maybe some few mount point like the root file system that's always there. And also sometimes there's another file system that is on the OS level, the boot, directory, which is mainly used to store operating system binaries or operating system metadata. It works like, yeah. So now there's another team, okay, because that's what the sysadmin will do, okay, doing all those stuff, creating this, mounting, okay, make sure that also kernel parameters, okay. So because we have kernel, we have files that you have to update for different type of kernel parameters. I think we have sysconfig, we have multiple other files, and we have kernel parameter for different operating system version, okay, and you should be updating them as well so that you can also map the Oracle software version once you install. For instance, tell you that, okay, we have this type of the value for this kernel parameter, okay, as per Oracle requirement. If you want to install 11G, you should allocate this value to this type of kernel parameter. So that one can be done by the sysadmin, okay? But if you have the privilege, you will also do that, okay? So they will work on all those stuff, and even sometimes the RPM packages installation, they also install that, all the required packages. Now there's another team, okay? You have now the network team, okay? What happened is that operating system will have an IP address, okay? You have an address, IP address. Now, the network team now, using the available IP address, will map that IP address with a particular host name, okay? So that is why you guys have student, whatever, okay? Because your student is mapped to a particular IP address. But initially, the server was not like that, okay? So there's a one-one or one-many relationship between the host name and the IP address. Like you guys go on Google, okay? Google.com is just a host name. But behind Google.com, there's multiple IP addresses. So there can be a one-one relationship between host name and IP addresses, or one-many relationship between host name and IP addresses. Okay, so the etc/host is where all those stuff are found. So that's why you go to etc/host, you will see the IP address and you also see the host name, because that is where they are mapped. Okay, so it's a network file that shows you all the related host name and IP addresses. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And
Yes,
that resolution is done by the network team, and they can use what they call DNS server, domain name services. in order to perform that resolution. Okay. So yeah, normally you should not be the one to do that. Even in your environment, you will never resolve name the IP addresses. When the network team does that, maybe you, the GBA, maybe if you are involved in such scenario, if they are trying to, you'll be the one to validate connection strings. Okay, you'll be the one to validate whether with that resolution, people can connect to the database. Let's assume that the IP address is what you guys know. Your IP address, you just type host name, I think -i, right? -i. You type hostname -i, and you will see the IP address of your server. So let's assume we want to resolve this IP address with student 100. So that means we are going to provide, for instance, student 100 to the application team or any other external user if they want to connect directly to the database. So you have to test it first, okay? So you, the GBA, will be the one to test in order to see whether the resolution is working, okay? But you won't be the one to create the host name, okay? That will be done by the network team. Sometimes the Unix team, but most of the time the network team that takes care of those stuff. The network team will also take care of making sure that the ports are open. In the cloud, we have different team for that, security team responsible for that. So they also make sure that the listener ports are open because they are not always open. And when we are opening the port, just for, there's a request that also should be raised in order for the port to be open. That is one of the checks, okay? You make sure that it's open to issue. Some people can issue the ping command. Some people know how to go to the operating system and issue some command in order to make sure that they can access the server remotely. And yes, I think that is mainly why you guys will see the etc/host, okay? Because the resolution has already been taken care of, okay, by the network team. Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Good. Yeah. So, you guys will, I know you guys can go and see prerequisite for installation, software installation, to see type of prerequisite you guys can be doing, okay? You guys can check that. I advise you guys to check that, some prerequisite. I know some students who try to install the virtual machine, VMware, by themselves, right? They have their external virtual machine. Those people will learn a lot on how to do all this stuff. Because since that they want to build a virtual machine, so they have the privilege. So they will be the one to, okay, to do most of these activities. And they will learn a lot from that. Okay. But it's not a big requirement for you to know how to build everything from scratch. Okay, it's nice, it's good.
It's good to know.
It's not compulsory. Okay, don't think that you have to know how to build a server from scratch before you get a job. No. Okay, it's just a plus. Okay. Anything else? So all the groups were good in this, no challenge.
Gaita, I have a question, please.
Yes, Ronaldo.
Okay, let me exit Wilson. Okay, so for some reasons, when I was trying to install the 11G, the first 11G, I came out with an error telling me that unable to create a new central inventory address. Unable to create a new central inventory. So I believe it is the Aura inventory that had, I don't know, that is not empty. So I was wondering, I believe everything was supposed to be cleared, so my directories has to be empty. So I don't know why I had that error, and I could not do any.
So so that means when you try to install the first software, you notice that the data directory is not empty, correct?
No, I mean, it is the error that told me that the directory is not empty. It's not like, when I check, it seems empty. It is empty, but I get this error.
Can you show me your screen?
Okay, let me just set everything and I share my screen.
Sure. You still have the error available, right? You can still regenerate it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can.
Yes,
Definitely.
at least we want to see the, what is saying. So, uh,
Fali, Mr. Patrick,
Yes,
did one of us encounter that similar error? I don't. It feels like I saw it somewhere, but I'm not sure.
Devon got this is similar error. You remember?
Or they one did?
Yeah, I think
Which one? Which one? Which one are you referring to?
What
they-
Renata is talking about the Aura inventory directory not being able to be created.
I think Devon mentioned something like that.
I think they don't have this same problem. You know, when we try to create the second software for 11, I think Devon got this problem.
The second one, hey Devon.
Hey, Natalie.
Oh, Devon is
You had
here.
that error, right?
Yeah, I just joined. Yeah, what's which area are you talking about?
Natalie, go ahead.
Rinalda just asked Gaetan a question about an error that she had, but it sounded familiar. That's why I was asking, did one of us have the error while installing Oracle software? An error talking about the Aura inventory directory.
I think that was Vianney.
Oh, Vianney.
Yeah, Vianney had an error. I think either she didn't, for some reason, the inventory directory, she had to edit it for some reason. It wasn't there. So it was given that error. But once she went and she put the inventory where it's supposed to be, it went through.
Even I encountered that error. So I went back on that directory and cleared the Aura inventory and went back to the software to run the installation and it worked.
Okay.
So you had that error because the Aura inventory wasn't empty?
Yes.
Okay.
So because I failed the first installation, I failed.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I guess it shouldn't happen on the first installation. The error should happen when you're trying to install another software.
The second.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, the second, because
Yeah.
maybe it's like the same directory. So it's saying that it cannot create that directory because it already exists or something like that.
Yeah.
No, Anita, if you try to run the installation the first time and you fail, and you come back to reinstall the same software, you gotta encounter that error.
Okay, because you failed the first time, so
first
maybe
time,
it already created it.
Yeah, it's already created. You already filled that.
Oh,
that-
so
you
I
have to
think
go back to
Renata, I think that could be the issue, because the first time we tried to install it and then if we didn't set the bash profile. So maybe that could have been the issue.
I don't know if anyone run into the error whereby just before you install the software after the interface, like all the checks failed.
Usually it's like the third check that fails, like something about the color.
On
But
Puri, why do you want?
yeah, on
Yes.
Puri, you have to
Not on fully on the interface, when we do, select the single instance and go just before the end. Remember, you have to click that tab that says fix and try again.
Oh yeah, on VNC.
Yeah. All of the steps fail, and we have to click on that bar that said fix. Fix something and then proceed. Once we click that, it actually automatically fixed whatever fail it was, and then it install the software.
So Herman, please let me ask, did you encounter the same issue when you were installing your 12C?
No.
So, okay. So when you install your 11.3,
11.
it went fine, because I
Yes.
know they're in like the same directory. So your 11.3 and 12C, like you didn't get any error?
No.
Okay.
And we have a question for Guyton. We use the DBUA to do an upgrade.
Okay.
It failed before the upgrade complete, and we went back and adjusted some mistake that we make, and we call up DBUA again, and the upgrade went through. So we're trying to verify. At some point, you said if you call it up once and it failed, you cannot pull it up again. So
No, I
we're
was
just trying
saying
to verify.
if the upgrade fails with DBUA, you said before the upgrade, okay? So if you are upgrading, you launch it, and in the middle, somewhere in the middle, it fails, right? That's the issue. You said that it failed before the upgrade, right? Before you actually click on the last button to upgrade, right?
Correct. In the middle of the process, it
No.
failed.
Yeah, in the middle.
Okay, then that's fine. That's the middle. I said why. Okay. That's
Before we
different.
launch the upgrade.
Yes. Now, yes, before, if it fails while you are launching the upgrade, right? Then that's the issue. Then you won't be able. But if it's before that, that means all the prerequisites you are clicking, all those stuff, then that's something else, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So, are you guys okay? Are you guys going to present or what?
Gaja, we got one question.
No, sorry, I know. Sorry, sir. I will come back to you. I'm asking the group that just talk about the upgrade DBUA. Are you guys the one to present?
Yes.
Okay. You guys will present using DBUA or manual or what other method? Which method? Which other method?
We go try to do two methods manually.
Okay.
and the DBUA. But the first question is we have to do like a manually maybe do 11 to 11.2.0.1. No, we do DBUA to 11.2.0.1 to 11.2.0.3. And when we go do 11 to 12C, we do manual. We have to do two methods and each step.
Okay, no problem. Yes, it's also a good technique. Very good. So you guys already completed. Want to do that? You want to use those steps?
Second question, Gaeta. And while we was try to create the script for us to work into manual method.
Okay.
We found out like it's not the same way. Is a couple difference when you do manual method to do 11 to 11 to 11 to 12C.
It's a little bit different.
It's just a little bit different. It's
yes, just some script, right? As I told you guys, right? Just some script will change. Okay. If on 11 UTL whatever for pre-upgrade, on 12C you will be running upgrade pre-upgrade.sql. Okay. If you want to upgrade, you do from 11.2.1 to 11.2.3, and if you're using you want to upgrade manually, you will use cat upgrade.sql. But from 11.203 to 12C, you'll be using CASTCL.
At the edge.
We change, but everything around is the same. The same.
Okay. But when we try to upgrade yesterday, manual, this 2 days past manually to 11 to 12C, we not think so. We have problem, not a problem. But to 11 is go through to beginning to installation, like we did all our process. They go through, but and the middle maybe after you say go take maybe 25 minutes, 40 minutes. By the middle after 20 minutes or 10 minutes, it gives us the error like Oracle connection. And when we try to go look what it means this error, it talk about the problem causes this error, but if you miss it like a TNS name, but we fix it, this problem, and then we try to run again, it gives us the same error, but we don't know which part will make it the mistake for have this problem, this error.
Yes. Again, as I said in the past, right? I cannot just you cannot just tell me, that I have this error, and I tell you, oh, this is a fix like that. Okay.
No.
So always, I always need to see the error itself, and sometimes also identify what the allelog is saying before I can say anything about an error. So yeah, I can't give you any any fix for that error without investigating all the previous step you have done. Maybe you missed something, or maybe so there's always some pre-checks I have to perform myself before I can give you a fix. Okay, I can tell you what's wrong.
But
yeah,
I'm so sorry. I think we make a mistake. We supposed to take in the snapshot for allelog for you have a better idea for this error, because we got snapshot for this error, but I think we make a mistake. We not take it snapshot to allelog to show you.
No, since you guys are still stuck at that level with that error, Wednesday is supposed to be the day for the upgrade. So it means that if you come with that error on Wednesday, if it's still not fixed, I'm not encouraging you guys to just cross your hand. So you should keep trying, okay, reviewing your steps. If it's still not fixed, then Wednesday we will check what went wrong. That's what I can tell you, okay? You said that error you encounter it while upgrading from 11.201 to 11.203, or while upgrading from 11.203 to 12.
No, this one for do 11 to 11, not to 12.
Okay.
I think
okay.
I take it to 12, and you PowerPoint you bring to us. We got a better explanation of the end, the PowerPoint, and that's why we try to make it a script for this one. I think the 11 to 12 is no problem, but the one we try to make this script, we try to combine it for this research we did it. And that's where we have a problem to 11. But 11 to 11, I think we go just do this one like DBUA is a good.
Okay. So that means so what you want to tell me, sorry, sir, is that you are saying that from 11.201 to 11.203 with GBUA, you guys were okay. It was good, right?
Yes,
but
sir.
You also try to do that with manual. That's where you guys have a problem, correct?
Exactly, sir.
Okay. So no problem then. When if you guys are the one to present on Wednesday, okay, we have 3 hours together. So you guys will start with the GBUA. Once you guys launch the GBUA, if you guys want us to go through that manual together, okay? So I will advise you guys to create another database. Does it make sense? So that we will start with the GBUA first, while it is running, while the final step is running, right? Now we're working with the manual. Does it make sense? So that we work us through those steps, and together we cross-check, okay? And in case there's anything wrong, we can troubleshoot the issue. Okay.
I think that's the best explanation. That for us we ask this question because we we need to have the good idea for 11 to 11, but I think for 12,
Yeah.
11 to 12C, I think it's no big deal.
Okay. Okay. Good. No problem.
Yeah.
So we are open.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
We still have
Yes,
time.
Nathan.
We'll work on it before. Maybe we'll have better luck before Wednesday. We'll still working on it.
Sure. That's very good. That's what I say, right? Always try. Keep on trying. And yes, if you guys fixed it, I know that you guys have a scenario for for the manual implementation in 11G. It's always good to try more than one method. It will definitely help you guys. Okay. Yeah. We are always open for other groups if they have a different method they implemented. Okay. We can always get the chance to present after this group has presented, because the way I'm seeing this group, it looks like they are very fast, and by Friday, it looks like all this assignment will be completed. Because if they have done from 11 to 3 to 12, it means maybe only the patching is pending on this group. Maybe only the patching. So normally the way I'm seeing things, if you guys finish earlier, it's good. Next week, either we'll be troubleshooting other people's issues, okay? Just to make sure that everybody is at the same level, okay, when it comes at least to assignment. Or maybe we can also take other people's methods, because we have multiple other methods, right? As I explained to you guys, we have data point, we have transportable database space, we have other methods. So if there's another group that's using different method than what this group is actually using, right? Feel free to let us know, and we will find some times. You guys will present. You guys will show us what is new, so that your entire class will have more than 2 methods available to upgrade the database. Okay. Yes, good. So let's meet Wednesday for that one. Yes, Miss Marinette.
Yeah.
I will suggest you to meet the other machine using 2 of
Oh,
them.
it's because I plug on my phone. I connect on my phone and on the computer at the same time.
Correct.
Yeah, I was saying that when I install my 12C,
yes,
I follow all the steps, but at the end I receive another message saying that I should enter the full path name on the local bin directory. I enter, everything was successful, but I don't think so. It's normal because some other people did not get that that message. I want to know if I have to disinstall and start over.
Hold on, please. When you run the root.sh script,
yes,
it's up to you. Okay, it's not bad what you did. It's not wrong. You just decided to give a different location for those inventory files, those environment files. So some people will just hit enter, right, in order to overwrite or not to overwrite. Was it that?
So I have to put the full part before.
Sorry, I'm hearing some.
Okay.
Sorry, Ms. Marionette. I'm hearing some noise in the background. Okay. Let's please proceed. Yeah. Let's go ahead.
It wasn't me.
Yes, I know. I wanted to stop people from talking because they were making a lot of noises. And yes, they muted it already.
Okay. I was saying that he didn't give me any option to choose. He said that I should put that directory before even go and click OK on the last step. So I don't know why.
Oh, come again, please. Maybe I was a bit distracted. You said that you were trying to do what?
I said that after running the last script, right?
I
received, he said that I should enter the full path name of the local bin directory.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's normal because some other classmate didn't get that message.
Oh, they never get that message of local bin directory.
Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't see in my group, I did not see someone who has it.
You said that that is when you run a root.sh script, right?
Yes.
You guys here don't remember? Some of you never had it before. Some of you in this class actually, you guys never faced that.
We got it. I think there you're just supposed to say enter.
We got it.
I have to enter that part. The local bin directory, I have to put it before he allow me to go back and click OK to finish the installation.
I got that message. I just hit enter.
Yeah, you're just supposed to press enter until it
until it says finish.
I think it's like three time enter.
So I mean, I put the path. So now I'm asking. I put the path, the directory, and then when I click enter, and that way I wanted to know if it's normal or if I have to, because maybe I can have issue after that.
No, normally that should not be an issue. Okay, as I was saying. Those who are clicking enter, I think I think there's a message. I forgot the message. There's a message that asking you whether you want to overwrite or not, something like that. I don't just remember exactly what it said. Let me see again. Let me know.
Yes, Gaita, I think that's the message.
What's
Asking you if you want to overwrite whatever bin directory.
Okay.
And
you just hit enter.
It is.
Correct?
Yeah.
You say, okay. Yes, so that is if you want to overwrite, okay? If you don't want to overwrite, you put the path. That is not bad. That should not be an issue, okay? You might decide to keep it on it. Okay, well, which part do you use, please?
That was the 12C.
Yes, which part do you enter? Because you said you enter a part, right?
Yes, I enter path equal $ Oracle _home /bin $path.
Oh, you type it there like that?
Yes.
That one is very weird, right? So because what happens is if you can identify those files, okay, where they are actually, because that is where the root.sh we create some environment files and we keep it where you specify. So if you are able to identify those files, you can just copy them back to that location. Yes, you can just copy them back to your location. But you are saying you enter path equals something, some stuff. I don't even know where it can go, right? Because that is not the directory, physical directory. Deinstalling it, will that be the easiest way of fixing such issues? If I was able to identify those type of files where they are, just need to move them, okay? But if you cannot identify them, you cannot find them, maybe you're not losing anything, just deinstall and install back.
Okay.
I'm not sure that will be a big challenge. I'm sure things will work for you, but since maybe you are doubting, you are not comfortable with that, you can just deinstall and install back. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Yes. Another question from me, guys? Any other question? No, Mr. Oben, I'm going to use one. 1 second. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. 1 second. Okay, any other question for me? Any other concern, challenge? Ms. Renata, I think based on what your classmate said, right? I think can you?
Yeah, I definitely, thank you.
Okay, great. Anything else? If there's no,
Yes. So I last week I had an issue creating the listener. So I created my database without a listener. So without the database configuration stuff.
okay.
So I don't know what I am doing wrong, but
Go ahead, please.
do I have to create the database before doing the listener?
No, no. You can do one before another one, but the software at least should be installed, right?
Yes, it
The
is.
software should be, so you can create a database before the listener before. It's up to you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but they make sure that there's a listener existing, because as again, right? You're the GPA, you don't need a listener because you are accessing the server as Oracle user, you are accessing as CDBA. So you are making either one chair or two chair connections, but application users, they need that. Otherwise, they won't be able to access. So always make sure that there's a listener. And normally, the normal procedure for this upgrade, normally the listener should be created on 11G, 11.1. And when you're upgrading to 12C, you should also be upgrading the listener as well, all the way to 12C. Okay, so normally that's how it should be moved. It should be.
Okay, so I don't know, like I'm not able to create a listener, so I don't know.
Using which tool?
Netcar.
Netcar, is it not creating any listener, or you are not seeing any listener on your server?
No.
Oh, really? Okay, are you in front of your computer now?
I am, yes.
Okay. Yes, you can share your screen.
Okay, I was just trying to, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it froze. Okay, so this, what is happening? So usually it will freeze like this, and then it will tell me that I should use a different part. Then even when I use a different part, it tells me that, what does it say? It says that there's already a listener with that port, something like that.
Can you cancel it so that we can see? Cancel everything, please.
Yeah, that's no.
You can try to go back and cancel if you I don't know.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything. Because like when I go to my WinSCP, there is nothing there. Like there's no listener configured.
At least I want to answer that session, right?
Yeah,
So,
I already hit cancel, so it's taking a long time.
That WinSCP, you got what are you expecting to see on WinSCP?
To see if I have any listener.
Okay.
Would that not show me there?
No, it's okay. You can try.
I went to I use Netcar to Anita.
Yeah, I
And-
know, but it's hanging. That's why I'm just like.
No. I'm saying I went there too. I used Netcar, and then I went back to WinSCP, and I had a listener. I think listener TNS.aura. Just a TNS.aura.
So I have one.
When you use a Netcar,
Yeah.
did it completed
It didn't complete anything. It just gives me errors. It tells me no.
oh yeah, some
Try to
wrong there.
refresh that page, please. Try to refresh WinSCP.
Yeah, that means something wrong.
Okay. Try
And
to
then-
cancel that. I don't know how you can cancel it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Should I just close it altogether?
Open a new terminal.
Okay.
Looks like it's hanging. Yeah. Okay. Connect.
You can create this one manual too.
Oh, that I should try creating it manually?
You can create this one manual too.
Now it's possible. Definitely, that one is also possible to create manually. I just want to check why it's PS WebTNS. Let's see something.
I'm sorry?
PS
TN
WebTNS.
Okay.
For me, WebTNS.
It doesn't show like that there's anything.
It should top.
Top.
Okay. Oracle. If you can close all those terminals and retry again, that would be really good. Press Q to exit. Press Q.
Q?
Yes.
Q?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I want to see something. Uptime. Type uptime. Uptime. Okay. Things look good. There's a good load. Okay. If you can close all those terminals, that would be good. I don't know, but if you can, please don't exit terminals, okay?
See, it says another port, use another port number.
Okay. No, click on no. Cancel it. Okay, cancel. Cancel, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, close any terminal there. If there's any terminal, make sure it's closed.
There's nothing here.
Yeah.
Okay. Netcar, or should I set the bash profile?
Try to set it. Let's see.
Okay, Netcar.
Yeah, go ahead.
Should I use a different port?
So you say this port is failing, correct?
Yeah.
Try again in front of me so that I can see the error.
Okay.
I can see. Okay, no problem. Mm-hmm. You can go ahead. Go ahead. I want to see.
Yeah, that's I already pressed next. Like that's what it does. It just hangs like that. Then it gives you an error.
In this scenario, sometimes try to reboot your server, okay? Okay, do a server reboot. Maybe but by rebooting the server, you can clean up there were some orphan processes running. So in case you have the same error, you reboot your server and you try to connect again, okay?
So by rebooting, how do I do that?
You just issue reboot
At the server level?
yes, as root user, you connect as root, you just type reboot.
Okay.
Yeah. So that can be an option, you know. That's another thing we can try, okay, before we check different port. Yeah, because if it's something like that, this I'm suspecting. Oh, go back. Oh, we did not check. Try to open another terminal. Let's check if there's any zombie process existing there.
Okay.
Yeah, connect as Oracle. Yeah. You're not gonna ask. Okay. Anyway, it's okay. Okay. Let me see that. Up 5 days. Okay. The same error.
Yeah.
The information at let me read that one. Use another port. It's currently in use by other software on this computer. You can proceed the computer as it is. Do you have VNC open multiple times?
VNC, no.
Do you have any other body or anything open and running?
No, not. I just have this that I just opened now. And
Okay.
that's the only session I have.
Okay, close even this VNCP first. Okay.
Okay.
Close it. And okay, click on no. Do you like to continue with this configuration anyway?
No. Yes.
Okay, say no, no, no. Say no. Let's cancel it. Okay. Go cancel it. Yeah. Okay, hold on, please. Say, are you sure you want to cancel? No, click on no first. Click on no. I want to say something. Go to, let's check here. Net Manager can give us if there's any listener already existing. Okay, anyway, cancel it, exit.
Are you sure?
Yes. So close the terminal behind. Exit. Please don't close like that. That's why I don't. Okay. Press Q here to exit. Okay. Connect as root user. Root user, please. Okay. Type reboot. Yeah, that's it. Okay. You will get disconnected, and it can take a couple of minutes. Then you come back and you will try again.
So in what instances do you have to reboot your, okay.
We have multiple scenarios when you can reboot in an environment. You know, if we are performing operating system changes, there are some parameters that whenever you change at the OS level, you have to reboot the server in order for them to take effect. If you are increasing, you know, like CPU, increasing memory, increasing swap space. No, wait, it takes minutes. It takes some time. Don't. You have to wait 5 minutes at least or 3. So yes, when we do operating system changes, sometimes it requires server reboot. Okay, so there are multiple ways of rebooting the servers, but this is one of the options in order to reboot the server. Just type reboot. So reboot normally should clean up, okay, because as you guys are doing, right, whenever you guys just exit out, and I'm sure, maybe, I'm sure that Mr. Brendan emphasized how important it is not to be exiting out. When you guys just exit out, it's not good. Just X out, sorry, just X out. That means just click on the X. It's not a good way of working. Okay. Always type exit. Because you can create, when you exit out, you can just exit the session, but your process is still running in the background. So that's why I don't like when people are just pressing X to exit the terminal. So sometimes reboot will clean up some off-farm processes, and it can free up some space and memory, CPU. Yeah. But we try this one first before we see other options. That's why. Okay.
Should I go ahead and use this?
Yes, try. Okay, are you sure you don't have another software installed here? How many software do you have installed here?
I have 3.
And have you try to create a listener somewhere else?
No, I even double checked. I don't have any.
Do you have any listener.aura file anywhere else?
No.
Let's go there and verify this one as well. Really wait.
So my 11. So this is my 11.1, and then
Okay.
the other softwares. So my 11.3. There's nothing here in my 11.3. It's my 12. Yeah, nothing.
Okay, go to Oracle base of 11.1. Oracle base.
11.1.
Yeah, Oracle base of 11.1. Okay, go to CF log. Diagnostic, dice. Yeah. RDBMS. No, go back to Oracle. Oracle, yeah. It should be CF log. Add CF log, let's say something.
Which one? This one?
Yes. Okay, Netcar, try Netcar, yeah. What is the refresh it so that you can see the latest log?
Oh.
What is the latest log?
The latest one will be this one.
Try to sort it. Okay, open it, please. Go all the way down. Up a little bit. Go up, please. Go up. Way up. Okay, let's wait here. There's nothing good here, nothing important here. Okay, see what BNC is telling us if it's spelling. Again. Okay. Say no. Try to change
Should I
the,
try using a different port?
let's try, let's see.
Um,
There's something wrong then. Something very weird happening.
do you think the issue might come with my the software installation, or maybe like they didn't clean my server very well?
The was successful, right?
I'm sorry?
The software installation was successful, right?
Yes, it was. So also another thing that I noticed, when you go to the Oracle, where is it? No. Then when I go to the samples, it has this port specified. I don't know if that's the port I was using. Should it be like that, or?
This one is not an issue. This one is always the sample. All these things are comments. There's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see the hashtag right on the front. So these are comments. That is what you can use as a sample to create a listener. So you can try to create a listener manually and see how it goes. Since this one are not working, try to create it manually as well. If it still doesn't work, it means there's something wrong with the cleanup process of this server.
Okay. So do you want me to get back to you?
Try to create it manually, right? You know how to create. Just copy the entries of listener.aura, the first part where you actually define the listener name. Just paste it there and try to start the listener.
What did you say?
Do you know how to create a listener
I do
manually?
not. I'll have to research how to do that.
Just the entry of the listener.aura. Do you know how it looks like?
Oh yeah.
That is what
like
you
right
do.
here.
Just
this, right?
that block. Yes, that block. That's the only block I'm talking about.
Okay.
Just copy that block. That's it.
Okay.
And you go and create a VI to your listener.aura and paste it there. You see the block I'm talking about, right?
Wait, but and
Open
I have to create a file, right?
File. Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I think I have. Can I use like a? Can I use something I already have here?
Sure. Yes. I'll just open it. That one. Then you can just copy that and paste. Yeah. Correct. And VI that file. Open that file. Remove other entries. Yes. Okay.
Remove this one.
Yes. Okay, you can put 1521 everywhere.
Does it always have to be 1521?
No, this is the default. We just want to see if you have the same issue.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, so
Save it. Yeah, try to go and start that listening.
Got a question.
Yes, please.
Also, the top one you create in the top of the directory, it was a 12C or software directory. That's no problem.
Where, please show me that. Show me that file again, please.
Wait, Which file?
Show me the listener.ora file you just opened, just edited. Yes.
You see,
Uh,
once the
yeah.
topic of
Okay. Whatever you guys see, you see the hash sign before.
Yeah, it's commented out.
That is a comment. Okay. It doesn't have any effect.
okay,
So yeah. Okay. Try to target this. Let's see.
Okay. So.
Just-
mm,
Okay. PS-EF grep GNS. Okay, so it's
Okay.
working. So you may need to, yes, you can use this one. Okay. And for your data, now go to issue Netcar again. I want to see whether Netcar is able to see this listing now. Okay, go to next. Okay, go to, no, back, please, go back. Go to reconfigure, yeah, go next. Okay, click on that listener. Click on it. Okay, yes, next.
Okay, so it is running.
It's running, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, cancel it, so manually it's working for you. For databases, if you have a database running already,
Yes.
but it's not, the database running on what, on 11?
Yes, it's on 11.1.
But the listener is not listening to the database, right?
I don't think so.
Because you haven't performed the registration. You know how to do that one, right?
Yes, I have to put the listener TNS names.
All right, so you know that one. So you may also, you have two options. Either you do it manually as well as we did for this one. That means you create a channel in the order manually, or you use Netcar and use the local naming convention as you guys did on DB1 to register the database. Does it make sense?
Yes. So is this one?
Yes.
And then just put the, okay. Prod, yeah.
Test it, please. Test. Yeah.
Okay, but it says it does not.
Time to go back. Go back. I saw you put something before. Go back, please. Okay, what was it? The host name? Okay. Okay, go to next. Okay, time to test again. Time to change the login. Let's see. It's not moving.
No. Just do next or no?
Next. No, right? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. Close the window like that, please. Exit. Finish. You should finish, right? Finish.
Yes.
All right. Now go to VNCP. Let's see if the chain in the order has been created.
Yeah, it did create it. Okay.
All right. Well, that was it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
So, anything else, guys? Let me check. We have. Let me check with Mr. Obi. Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll wait for 10 minutes. Sorry, so that he can join, as he said, 7.
Okay, guys. While waiting for Gaetan to come back, concerning the SQL fundamental. Before I start, I want to know, do we have any volunteers that want to go ahead?
Renata, excuse me. You can speak out, please.
Excuse me?
Can you, because you speak it very, very low.
Okay.
Can you speak up, please?
Okay. I was saying concerning the SQL fundamental. Is it better now?
Thank you. I think it's better now.
Okay.
For sure.
Do we have any volunteers that want to go ahead for the test? As I told you guys, we are randomly choosing 4 people, 2 from the morning and 2 from the and 2 from the evening.
What is the test, Renata?
I'm gonna let you know.
Do we have to go to the center?
No. We don't have to go to the center. As I told you guys, the deadline is today.
Okay.
Deadline is today, and I was expecting all the group leaders to contact me at least by today. And so far, I actually discussed with a member from the, I believe it's Bofakash and Silver Spring. Bofakash and Silver Spring. So we have 4 groups in the evening class. So 2 other groups I haven't heard from you guys. I had, I know you guys have a lot of questions, but I don't know why you don't feel free to ask. So, okay, cool. I don't know why you guys don't feel free to ask. So, some of you guys ask, why are we paying $20? On which basis are we paying $20? So, I explained to one of you guys today that based on the number of people we have in the Bronte Class 26 group, so let me say we are about 70. Yeah, I think we are about 70. And suppose we have 50 people contributing. Suppose we have 50 people contributing. That means 10 from the evening are not contributing, and 10 from the morning are not going to contribute, because we never know. And it is $20 per member. So 20 times 50 is 1,000. And the test is $245. And 4 people, it is going to be $980. So this is how we actually calculated it, and that's why you guys were asked to give $20. I believe I answered to most of your questions, because that's the question that kept on coming back.
Renata,
Uh-huh.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
I think you say is the 20 class 26, we got 17. but you don't know if everybody go give you $20, maybe 50 go give you $20 go be 1,000. If for 70 give you $20 go be 1,400. I think the best way, you guys cannot say you just go and put 4 people. You have to have money and you say if 50 people pay 1,000, you say okay, you guys you say because you the leader say okay, we got $1,000, we go send the 4 people. If everybody pay, you say okay, you guys the leader say oh, we got 1,400. How many people we go send? Maybe we go send 5 people. Maybe we need more to send 60 people. Because better we send the people, better we go have the Lala question, better we go do the downfall. I think my idea is this way. Because what you guys say, we go send the 20, we go send the 4 people, we need the $1,000. If so 4 people, maybe 35 people give you money. What you guys go say? You go put the rest? I don't think so. That's why you need to have money first, and that why you go make a plan and say, okay, we got money, we got those people. Maybe you go say, oh, we got deadline maybe today or tomorrow, and this deadline you got money, and you guys you go decide. You say, oh, we got money, we got this amount. That's the number of the people we go send. That's I think because I don't know. That's my idea.
Okay. Excuse me, Miss Renata, how much is the secret fundamental again, please?
245.
Wow, that thing increased like that. Before it was lower than that. Okay. And what is the technique you guys are planning? Which one you guys want to use in order to pass it?
Okay.
You guys are yes, go ahead, please.
So we are trying to send some people ahead to try to create a dump file.
Okay.
That means what the use of the people we are sending is definitely just to be to just be not taking the exam, because we are the ones we are actually going to form a team, so the teams are the one taking the exams for them, and from there we are going to come out with the questions that we saw there, and we're trying to have as we are trying to take as many exams as possible. That's why we propose 4 people we propose to send 4 people in front.
Okay, and you guys are planning to take it at the person place or school or what?
No, we are planning to take it, I think, in school.
Okay, so that means you guys have chibis, HDMI cables for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's even secret fundamental. There's no proctor. Yeah, it's not proctor. So you can, okay. Yes, okay. So, but it's one at a time, right? Not all the 4.
No. It's one at the time. That's the reason why we're trying to form some team, so that we have one team to take for this person, another team for this person, and so on.
Okay. All right. 4 different teams. The same day?
No, not necessarily the same day.
Okay. Anyway, okay, because I know the first team, since they took it with the candidate, they have a clue regarding some questions. Yeah, whatever you guys found, and you can forward it to the next team, right? So that they have those questions as well.
Yeah.
Because you may have the exam, the first person is taking, let's assume, okay, that's not what I wish. Let's assume the first person failed, but at least you guys have, the screenshot of those questions, because yes, normally you should type those questions down. If you were able to find those questions on Google or not, those questions should be, the next focus, right? You should, for the next exam, you should not fail at that level on those same questions. Does it make sense? So that's why I'm asking the interval between the first person and the second person, because once you guys finish the first person, those questions, you guys will document them. You guys will put them on a notepad or a Word document, and then those questions now you will take it for the next person, for the next candidate, and see if those questions come back. If they do, then you validate that, and so on. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, you guys can. Yes, it's a good technique. A good technique. Okay. Give me one. A good technique you guys are using, and yes. Okay. So, as I told you guys, last Friday. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Should I mute now? Let me see that.
I think you're good. I muted the second one.
Okay, good. Very good, thanks. As I told you guys earlier, I want to introduce one of our elder, brother in the administration field, and it's Mr. Oben. And Mr. Oben has always been one of our I can say one of our. Okay, let me. First, before someone can introduce himself, I always have to make sure myself I'm ready. So, Mr. Oben, as I said, he has always been there to encourage us in this journey. Okay, he's always available for us. He was always coming to the classroom. And today, he's joining via Zoom. That means he has a very good interest. He's always willing to say something to the class, and we are really grateful for that. So, as I said, right, he's here already. If you have any question, okay, anything for him, please feel free. And thank you, Mr. Obi, to Uncle Obi, for joining. And yes, I know the class is yours, so you're welcome to the evening session, class 26. Mr. Oben, are you here? I see him unmuted, but maybe it's not.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Step away for a second.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Can you see me?
Not yet. You can turn on your video so that we can.
Oh, I guess my video is.
Yeah. All right. We can see you now. Good.
Can I see myself? Oh, okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Obi.
Hello. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure. I'm here to bore you guys a little bit, if you don't mind.
Good to see you.
All right, we are going to chat. Yeah, I always want to do the two-way thing. I don't have a bunch of things to come and say here and you are listening. So, I mean, if you are unmuting, please just make sure there's no noise in your environment, then we can talk. So, like the dancer, my name is Obed. I've been around here for a while. I've been doing this thing for a minute. I think I was class 17 actually. Yeah. I came from the class 17 batch, and I mean, ever since then, I always stop by. Previously, Prof always had me to stop by and say one or two things to the DB1, DB2 classes and project class as well. So, I mean, because of COVID, things have been tight. Maybe you guys would have seen me around DB1 or DB2. Better late than never. Not so. All right, so what do I even have to say today? I don't know. But I just want to encourage you guys. You took a nice decision and you are at the right place. I always say this, and no many of us are here because we heard from one brother, from one auntie like that in the quarter that there is this IT program, you go and do it for 6 months. After 6 months, you start making $100,000 a year. We came. So when we made the decision to come, there are those people that told us, friends, colleague, brother, sister, that hey, there's my friend did it. Yeah, that DBA team, my friend did it. He didn't have a job after a long time. So the thing is not really working like that again, like before. Some other people say, yeah, they did it and they had job. But mostly we hear this, the negative, the ones that say that they didn't pay again like before more. Am I lying? Am I speaking the truth? What you guys faced?
Maybe you're not lying.
All right, Alan says I'm speaking the truth. Maybe he heard one or two. Yeah, that is what happens. And of course, it is true. There are a lot of those people that came to Brontech, went to other schools, went everywhere, and at the end of the day, nothing happened. They didn't have a job, they just stopped. Then there are others that made it. But there is something that differentiates. There's a very thin line between those who made it and those who did not make it in Brontech or in any other school or in any other IT program. There's a very thin line between those two people. Can somebody guess what that is? Just feel free to unmute. Let's talk. Can somebody guess what is the thin line between those who succeed and those who don't?
Trying, keep on trying.
Okay, he says some people don't try enough. Thank you, Patrick. Any other opinion?
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Thank you. One last one.
Be patient.
Patience, perseverance. Yeah, we are not far from the truth. Patience, there's patience, perseverance, and to keep on trying. Yeah, those come, there's actually one thing that precedes all of those things, which is the willingness and the sacrifice. You have to be willing, you have to be able to sacrifice. Then if you're able to sacrifice, you add patience and you persevere, and you're going to come out of this thing successful. I always sum the sacrifice and patience aspect of this thing, I always sum it in a very simple and logical fact. If your wife, your husband, your brother, your sister, your kids, your friends are not asking you that, Dima, how you lost so, then you have not started. You have not into this thing. Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been here for 6 months. How many months? If you are not getting those kind of complaints that I don't see you, you are not in this party, you are not, I mean, you are rare, you are not online, you are not doing, if you don't hear those type of complaints, then trust me, you need to do something, you need to do a little bit more. I always call this thing a project. It's a project that you sacrifice 1 year and you know that, okay, this is my 1 year. I'm sacrificing all these things. I'm sacrificing those parties. I'm sacrificing this Njoka. I'm sacrificing this vacation for this only one out of the many years that you are. 1 year, and I focus, I get this thing done, and I leave. You think you have put in a lot in the past 6 months or whatever? No, it's not really a lot, because the real thing starts now. Project, then interview section. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get tired. And that is where you need that focus the more. That's where you need that patience, that sacrifice to be able to put all what you have learned together, bring those small pieces and couple them up and get a job. Many people go through all these things and they give them a resume, they put it online, 1, 2, 3, and gradually it just dies a natural death. Everything just fades away. So that is how you are supposed to be different. Many of you have sacrificed a lot. And I just want to encourage you that you are almost there. You just need to push it some more. You just need to put it some more and get to the finish line. Yeah, I know many of you are wondering. Many of you are like, okay, these things that we are doing here, is it the same thing at the job? Is it the same? Are we going to be making MKDIR at the job? Are you going to be doing CDDs? Are you going to be doing data guard? Are you going to be? The answer is yes. Yeah. Your server is a typical example of a working environment. Yeah. The only difference is that you don't have that absolute control over it. You don't just get one money and your thing is not working, and you call prof and say that, can you just reboot my server? You don't just wake up one morning and the database is having issue and you just decide to drop it and you start all over. That's the only difference. But other than that, everything is pretty much the same. Yes, it's the same. All you're doing is the same. All you're doing in projects is the same that you're going to meet in the environment. They're going to hire and they're going to tell you that, okay, we are trying to implement data guard for our disaster recovery plan. Yeah, that's what happens in the environment. And the same things that you're doing that you did with time to configure data guard is the same thing that's going to happen in the environment. The only difference is that you're not going to be using your other friends, classmates server and this other one server. And you're not going to be on the same network or the same VM. You're going to be working on actual servers, maybe one in Houston and another one in Maryland. So that question, if what you're doing here is the same thing that you're going to meet at your job, yeah, it's the same thing. Let me share screen. Am I making sense so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
On track, you're on track.
All right. I like to have a board when I'm talking, so I'm writing all my nonsense and canceling it. I'll summarize the next stage that you guys have in these two. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I summarize everything in this two simple category. You need to get a job and you need to work on keeping the job. I know, ironically, many of you are more worried about this part more than this part. True or false?
Can you come again, please?
I said, ironically, most of you are worried on how you're going to do when you get that job, even more than getting the job.
Yes.
So what happens is, okay, somebody's talking, go ahead.
I was saying, I think they work hand in hand.
Yeah, exactly. They work hand in hand, and you cannot keep a job that you don't have, not so.
Right.
Yeah. So to sum up, what I'm saying is that in as much as you are executing all these projects, you need to understand that you're supposed to know what you're doing. You're supposed to know what you are doing. It's not all about running steps. What distinguishes Brontech from other schools in town is that the project aspect of it, because at the end of the day, they give you that resume which says you've worked for 5 years, 6 years. Some of you will still take it and you go online, you see jobs that they are asking for 8 years experience, you still go and add some other 2 years there to make it 8 years. Yeah. But what gives you that experience, that 5 years, 6 years experience is this project. So if you have not been taking projects seriously, this is the point where you really need to get on track with whatever you guys are doing with Gaitan right now for projects, because that is actually what gives you the experience. That's what gives you that real life or working environment, in addition to all the other practicals that you did in DB1 and DB2. Yeah, it's not all about running steps. It's not all about you run this step, you run that step, you run this step, you run that step, and you get all of it together. But it's about, to get that job, it's about explaining what happens. Yeah, I mean, lately, from what I gathered, in some interview questions, in some interview now, they actually give you a server and they say you should run this command, run that command. Yeah, but that is very little. That happens very little from my understanding. The majority of the part, they ask you questions and they want you to explain what's going on. They will not ask you that, how do you start a database? How do you start a database is startup, right? For instance, they won't ask you that, how do you start, what's the command to start a database, and you say startup. Because every DBA should know that. But they can ask you that, what happens at startup? When you issue startup command, what happens? Can somebody answer?
You said when you issue startup command, what's happened?
Yeah, what happens on the database?
The database is mounted and it opens.
Yeah, database is mounted and it opens. Did you skip a step? Did she skip a step?
I think the first is not mounted. Once you go read the PIFA, the parameter. The second is mounted. One is go read the control file. And the third one is the startup. One is go open, go check the file.
Okay. Man, you're breaking up and I picked all the steps. So, I mean, that's the essence of what I'm trying to say, that you guys need to know what is happening. You need to understand every step of the way. Why do I run this command? When I run this command, what happens at the back end? Because that's the thing that they're going to drill you during interviews on. They want to know what happens at the back end, because the truth is, if you don't know what happens at the back end, they don't need to hire you, because they don't hire you for running that startup command and it starts. That's why they pay you. They pay you for the day that you run the startup command and it doesn't start. Am I making sense? Because that day that you start it and it doesn't start, that's why you are being paid as a DBA. Because if it is for you to run that command, they will script all the damn thing and leave it there, schedule it on cron tab connects, sudo, do this, and everything is done. So if you don't understand why you are running a step, you will not know what to do the day that that step fails, or the day that you run that step and you get an error. An understanding of what transpires behind that command is what is going to help you to troubleshoot that issue and get it fixed. And mostly that's what they're going to test you on during the interview. Those are the type of questions that they ask you. What will you do in this situation? What will you do in this situation? And based on that now, I want to let you know that as you are navigating through projects, you are going to face issues. You run into errors. Document those issues. I faced this issue when I was configuring data card. I did this, I switched locks, and the primary and the standby was not in sync. What did I do? I went on Google, I researched. Finally, I discovered that, okay, the fix was this, and I applied it and it happened. So, and document how you resolve them, because those are the challenges that you're facing in your working environment. That's why you're doing this project. That's the essence. You actually do these things. You encounter issues. You brainstorm on it as you brainstorm at the level of your group on it. Try to fix it. At the end of the day, write it. This is my error. My thing is not working. My thing is not working here. Your thing was not working on so and so day. How did you fix it? Yeah, your classmate said that, okay, you should do this. You did it and it happened. Yeah, you write it down. Tomorrow interview will ask you, tell me a day that you were at work and you had a very challenging situation. Then you say that on so and so day I was working and my thing was not working, and I did research and I discovered that the thing is this. I'm not saying that you say that you ask your classmate. Whatever help you got from your classmate now is the part that you say that you research. I'm just using that as an example to say that all those errors that you have been facing, even right from DB1, when you multiplex your control file and you had an error, and you were not able to multiplex, what was that error? What was the issue you were facing? That's how you get ready for interview. And that's because you guys are like, I'm seeing 28 people on this class. The morning class, I was there in the morning, there were like 40. That's like 70 of you. And 70 of you are probably going to leave BroNTech at the same time. 70 resumes coming from the same place. How do I distinguish myself from you? How does Renada distinguish himself from Fali or from Patrick? We face different issues during our time in BroNTech. We face different issues during projects. And our challenges were different. And because we have different challenges, that's how we have different stories during our interview section. That's how I become unique. That's how I'm different from you. I had this issue, I had this issue. The other things that are fact, that are the foundation, they remain. Yeah, that's universal. You cannot change it. How do you start up a database? You issue startup. How do you shut down the database? You should shut down immediately. Those are facts that we all are supposed to know. But then you are supposed to find a way now that you distinguish yourself from this other person. How do you do that? Your issues that you face are different from the other person. So as you are doing your projects, as you are doing your data guard, Golden Gate, rack, or whatsoever, make sure you're documenting all your challenges. Make sure you are documenting the fixes, so that by the time you get to rack, they'll ask you, okay, tell me what issue you had on rack, and you are able to, you just pull it up. And trust me, when you say something that you did, something that you went through, is always different from saying something that they have written and given you. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are some of the things that you need to do. You're doing projects, but you should already be preparing yourself for the interview. Your projects is doing it, but then to get a job, you need to be able to say it. Like I said, I just learned that during interviews these days, they actually give you a server and tell you to run steps, but that is only like 10% of the time. 90% of the time, they're going to ask you questions. Maybe it's not even up to 10%. They ask you questions and they expect you to explain. They expect you to explain. So everything you've been doing from DB1, DB2, those are things that you are supposed to put them together. All those concepts, what is this, what is that, what do you do for this? You put all those concepts together, make sure that you master them. and you know them, because if you have not read, if you have not mastered them, if you're taking that interview and somebody even pulls it up in front of you, you'll not be able to say it. But if there's something that you have studied that maybe you're just stuck in your head, or maybe you cannot even remember it, but you have studied it, when I pull it up in front of you, you're able to pick it up and you're able to give it to the interviewer in a very convincing manner, and end of the day, you're getting that job. Any questions so far before I get to the other part? No questions? All right, if no questions, summarily, what I've said is that you need to know everything that you're doing. You need to understand the steps that you are running in order to be able to say it to the interviewer. Summarize all your steps. Don't just run steps. Know what you are doing, because you need to be able to explain those things. Even if you are the best of the class, by the time is saying full stop, you have already created that database, you have done everything, and completed. If you can't explain to somebody, to a layman, what you did, then trust me, you will stay there, and other people who can say it will take it and go to the job, maybe struggle, maybe even before they lose the job, but they have already worked and they'll still get another one. So you need to be able to explain what you are doing to get that job. Now, keeping the job, experience have shown that most of us are more worried about the fact that if we get this job, how are we going to do? Many people are scared on their day one, what happens? Day one is not a problem. Once you get the job, what always happens, what we always advise is that once you have landed that job, bam, go back, you still have your server. Take DB1 exam, you brush it from beginning to the end. DB2 exam, you brush it from beginning to the end. And you revise all those things. Once you are getting on that job, you are okay. You're fine. You have a resume that says that you have worked for 5 years. That is your story. You don't even have to be scared. You don't even have to be afraid that somebody is going to think that they will discover that you have not worked for that long. The only person that can discover that you have not worked for that long is you. Because they're going to give you a story. Make that story yours. I said that my resume had it that I work in Omaha, Nebraska. These days, sometimes I'm talking to my friends and I'm even telling them that when I was in Nebraska, before I realized that this thing was just a bullshit after Brontech, that I've worked in Nebraska. So that's how much I made my story true. You draft it, understand it, know the address of the work. I work in this place, know the street, know everything. All those things are on Google. Yeah, that's what you did. Nobody can change it from you. So that's the first thing that builds your confidence. Even if you get that job, you are moving into that office, you don't care. Now, I don't work for 5 years. 240 November, that's fact. Now you get to the job, there is no big deal. You can navigate it in the sense that you just need to be smart. Paying attention. There are things that you don't know, things that you have not heard before. You just need to put your head up, attentive. What's going on? That they tell you, okay, do this thing, do this thing. You are just picking it up. When I started work, the HR agent gave me computer, told me to set up my Outlook. He said I should create subdirectories for management, technical team. I didn't know that thing. But then she was orientating me and another co-worker. I was just thinking that, oh boy, what you want to do? Tell me the woman, give me the computer. So as the other person was just working on his computer, I was very smart. My eyes were going 360 around that room. Everything that she was doing, I was just looking. I was copying the steps without a pen, without a paper. She clicked that, I copy. She clicked that, I copy. Immediately they handed me my laptop. In less than 2 minutes, I set it up. Because how do you say that you've been working for 6 years and you don't even know how to use Outlook? 99% of companies that use Outlook for email. How have you been working on 6 years? You don't know Outlook. But trust me, I didn't know Outlook. But how did I get around it? I was smart. I was paying very keen attention to detail. And you need to know small tricks to lie yourself out of a situation. When I started my job, in my interview, I said I've used ServiceNow, whatsoever. I could not remember. When I came to the job, this now is my coworker, which I definitely know that he was not in one of those who interviewed me. And he doesn't know nothing about what I said on my interview or what I did not know. So he was setting me up, creating my account in ticketing system. That was ServiceNow. I didn't know nothing about ServiceNow. So he's saying, okay, do this, go to tickets. I'm like, man, I haven't used ServiceNow actually. In my previous job, I was using Remedy. I didn't know ServiceNow, but at least I knew that ServiceNow is a ticketing system. But I also knew that there was another ticketing system called Remedy or whatsoever. So that's how I can quickly line myself around a situation. So you should be able to, I'm not encouraging people to go and be lying, but I'm just saying that we all know that this thing, we need to bullshit in one way or the other and get around some situations. Yeah. And one main thing that's going to hold you on the job is these projects. Like I said at the beginning, many people always ask these things we are doing here, do we do that on the job? Yes, we do that on the job. All these things you are doing, you do on the job. Apply patches all the time. Just finish working on data guard configuration for a new environment. I just finished working on that, and everything that you're doing, you're going to do it on the job. So, any questions? I have a tendency of talking a lot and leaving essential things. So let's take some questions. Maybe that's going to orientate me back on track.
I got a question.
Yes.
Some people told me why you get job, and some job is training you, and some not training you. What are the different the kind of job? Some job is it told you, okay, while you pass interview, you go have maybe training for 1 week or 2 weeks. And some people told me you want to get a job, you don't have training. Is it kind of different job?
Okay, nobody hires you and expects you to just get along immediately. They will not hire you on the job and teach you that to start a database, you issue this command. To shut down a database, you issue this command. To create a table, you issue this command. Or to log an account, you issue this command. They don't hire you and teach you that. But they hire you and they train you on the environment. Now your current environment is those your server student, 136 student, 236. That's your environment, right? Every environment is different. They have different naming convention, they have different architecture, different application, different servers, and different things. Whenever they hire you, they are going to take 2 weeks, 1 month. They are doing orientation, right? They are filling you in, they are teaching you the environment. They are showing you that, okay, this is how you do, this is how you log into this is our method to log in to sudo. In some environments, you sudo by doing su and you get to it. In some environments, you have to do sudo minus I. In some environments, you have to do sudo minus u. Those are those small things that they're going to teach you in that environment, but they're not going to teach you how to be a DBA because they're hiring you that you're a DBA, you have 5 years experience, 8 years experience. They're not going to teach you your job, but they're going to train you on the environment. If they're hiring you for something that you don't know or something that's not on your resume and they know that you don't know, because sometimes they hire you to train you for something else. They hired me as an Oracle DBA. Right now I'm an Oracle EBS application DBA. I do very less of database but more of application. But they taught me all the application things because they knew that I had no clue on Oracle application when they hired me. So that's the difference. They don't teach you the job. They will teach you the job if they hire you for something that you don't know. But generally, you should not be scared because they teach you the environment. And that process of teaching you the environment, if you are smart, even a lot of things about the job that you don't know, you get to learn them because they'll always start you with a coworker when you just join. And during that process, you have the opportunity to as you are learning the environment, you are picking up a lot of things that they are doing. So by the time they are giving you access to development or test or UAT environment before even getting to production, you're already an expert.
Thank you for sharing.
No other question? Guys, I had evening class also. Or am I that good in explaining things this day?
You know, no, I think the problem is not you. They are very calm. So,
Yeah, I
very,
mean,
very calm. They have, most of them are shy. I don't know why.
maybe I should have corroborated my hair before I come. So, guys, I think, and grosso modo, I have said some of the things that I think are essential to you guys from here on. I mean, if this class was months back when you were still in DB2 or DB1, probably there are a lot of different things I could have said that would have helped. But from this stage, I think I've said the essential things that should see you through from here to the end. One more thing I want to say is that if you have been able to sacrifice all to this point, you should try not to give up, because there's light at the end of it, at the end of the tunnel. I also want to encourage you guys on your group studies. You need each other. Always remember that you need each other. And if you are, even no matter if you are the best person in class, if you can run all the steps whatsoever, you need each other. You need to stand together as a team, work on those projects as a group, because that's what's going to happen in your environment. Most of those projects you work in teams, and you're supposed to work together. Work on them. Make sure you're doing something. Don't just come there and sit and wait for all the other people to do everything. You just take the steps and you execute them. No. Try to follow up, put in something, chip in everything. And at the end of the day, you scratch my back, I scratch your back, and you are going to be out of this place and be smiling.
I have a question, please.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so you know that the current times are a bit different because of COVID-19. I suspect most of us, when we find a job or we're working from home, is not going to be like the traditional what you went through. And you mentioned that the experience that you had that was on your resume was not exactly the experience that you got, and you were able to just maneuver around that by looking at your coworkers. But for us now that are mostly going to be working from home, how do you think we should handle that? Not being able to rely on other people.
Yeah, I mean, the only way you're going to do that is you do that by working. I mean, you work with coworkers even remotely. I mean, we work right remote. I work remote and I still work with my coworkers. That is not going to be an issue. Look, I'm working. You see my screen. You see it's on the screen share.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
I've been working with a coworker, and they're still going to work together with people. You guys, they have Zoom and all that. But I mean, on the other part of it, I was not saying that to say that you need to go and learn from your co-workers. Your number one strength is yourself and your ability. You need to know how to be independent. Rely on yourself. Have your Google in tab, put all your steps, all your cartouche, combine all your materials. That's why I said make sure you're documenting stuff that you're doing, because those stuffs are going to help you. They're going to face you. I remember one day I at my job, I'm barely 3 months into this job, and there's a production issue. I didn't even have access to UAT at that time. I'm still on development. There's a production issue, a very huge issue, because a developer mistakenly drops, because previously developers have sysadmin access, and he mistakenly did something from Toad that dropped a table in production. And my environment is a very critical environment. I work for CMS, Center for Medicare and Medicare. So this environment supports databases that run financial transactions for Medicare and Medicaid transactions all over the United States, all over the 50 states. So it's a very critical environment. The lag between production and DR is 0 second. That's 0 second. Like anything, as you're inputting data in primary, it goes DR. There's no difference in the primary DR. In the first DR, at least there's a second DR now, which only came in place after that incident. They decided to have a second DR database that is at least 2 hours lag difference. Okay, so this guy drops this table and the table is gone. It's not noticed until after an hour. About an hour afterward, that's when they discovered that this table was dropped. Okay, they are looking at a lot of scenarios on how to recover this database. So first of all, they think to do a point-in-time recovery. They do a point-in-time recovery to 1 minute before the time that table was dropped. They're going to get the table back, but they're going to lose data from all other tables and transactions that continued on the database for that 1 hour. And trust me, that 1 hour, a lot of things happen on that system within 1 hour, that if they do a point-in-time recovery to that particular time, they're going to lose a lot of data. So now they are thinking of, okay, exporting the table from DR, from the DR, bring it over to production, and then import it back on production and do this and do that. So I'm just standing there, very small. Actually, I'm very small, trust me. All my environment are Padem, Indian Padem for 50, 60 years, 45 years. Actually, they call me there that baby DBA because I'm actually a kid. So I'm standing there, they're sweating. Everybody is discussing experts of 150 years. Then the guy that I was working with, when I came in, who was working with me to film me in the environment, was like the main person on the keyboard on the system. So I'm like, Marie, what if we create a table using DB link from production back into the primary database? And then the whole goes quiet, everybody. They're like, then my manager, yes, actually, that's a very good idea. Then they thought about it, blah, 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 yeah. And behold, they used DB link, they created the database, they created a table from production, they created a DB link between production and they created a table back in the production using DB link from DR, and everything came back to normal, and the issue was resolved. Now, why am I explaining this? This is me in the midst of experienced DBA for 10, 15 years, whatever. Despite all of that, I'm not intimidated. I know that I have something to offer. And the opportunity came and I did not hesitate. And trust me, how did I know that? I created tables in BronTech using DB link a bunch of times. So don't think that you don't know nothing and everything that you're supposed to do on your job, you're going to learn from your coworkers. No, trust me, you are well equipped. You know a lot. If you have not been that type of student that is just sitting there and leaning on others, if you have been doing your work from DP1 to this moment and you strive to do your work all the way to the end, you are going into that environment equipped. But then there are small technical things that we will not touch. We can't touch everything, right? But those are the things I'm saying that you are able to pay attention, pick up from your coworkers and add to what you have and you move on. So I'm not totally saying that you're going to go and learn work from your coworker. No, you're just going to pick up 1, 2 things from your coworker and add to it. You know a lot living BronTech. That's my point. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah, you did. So I also wanted to know, you keep talking, well, I've heard a lot of people saying that on the resumes, we're gonna see 5 years. Is it okay to reduce the years if you want to? Like, what is, I know you're definitely gonna get like a big difference in salary, but like if you feel more comfortable putting a lower amount of years of experience on your resume, do you think that's okay?
It's okay. But the truth is there are very few entry-level jobs out there.
Okay.
There are very few jobs that's going to require that very little experience. That's the problem. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. Every year, people are graduating from schools, from universities, but yet every job out there, they are looking for 5 years, 6 years experience. What do we do? Yeah, you can reduce it. You can remove some of the things that you don't think you are comfortable with. You are scared of, oh, you don't know this thing. You can remove it from the resume, but it's all on you. If you are removing all the technologies that recruiters or employers want from your resume because you don't want to be grilled, also be ready to stay in the interview section for a longer period of time. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you are. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions? If there's no
I want to ask something, please.
All right, go ahead.
All right, regarding the environment too, like I want to know, for example, once you're hired and you go to work maybe for the first time, or is it like every person is being assigned to a particular like a particular something, you do a job which you know that is what you're doing always, or you just come to work, for example, today, like ticket, you made this ticket and then you just work on what the ticket is saying. Like, for example, what I'm saying is, like, we do backups or like you talk about data guards and stuff like that. So I want to know if like some people might be like you have a particular target at job site, like if you are maybe only on backups or stuff like that, or the database, or doing data guard. So that's just what I'm trying to know.
Every environment is different. That's what I can say about that. Every environment is different. One second. Excuse me 1 second. I really need to take this. Yeah, Mama. All right, sorry. So, okay, this is what I was saying. Every environment is different. In my environment, every other person works on projects. Project is like supporting development team, and any other project that's in the environment. And there are 4 guys that are responsible, that are on call every week. The 4 guys that are on call are responsible for anything that comes from the developer. 4 guys, there are 2 primary for production and backup for production, primary for non-production and backup for non-production. So if any issues comes in the development environment, all those 2 development guys take care of it. If it's a production issue, those 2 guys take care of it. They are like the shock absorber. Whatever is coming, be it an issue from the system or from developers, whatever, they are taking care of it, while the other guys are working on team projects. Then that rotation goes on and on. But trust me, it's not the same somewhere also. How they run the environment is very different. Maybe if you ask Gaetan, he's going to give a different story about his own environment, and it goes on and on like that. So every environment is different. Some environments are specialized. This person is working just on this thing. This person is working on that. In my environment, there's no one person that is responsible for backups. The on-call guy does health checks in the morning, checks all the backups and whatever is the issue, and he resolves it. Next week, he's not the on-call guy. Whoever is the on-call guy is working on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other query?
Yes, please. I have a question.
Carry on.
Yes, I'd like to ask, like now, when you're preparing for the interview, what's the best way to go about it? And then which particular sections should we preferably choose to work with? Because I hear that when you're doing the interview, usually you lean towards a certain field. For instance, you may say maybe data migration or performance tuning. How do you pick which particular section?
I don't think there's any spec for interview. You need to know everything. You need to know everything. Trust me. Okay, I can only tell you this based on experience. On every interview, there are topics that must be covered. You hear they ask you questions on data guard. They are going to ask you. That's if there's data guard in that environment. They ask you questions on performance tuning. They ask you questions on backup. They ask you questions on import, export, migration. They ask you questions on all those topics that they normally touch across it. When you want to go to things now like RAG and data guard, whatever, all these ones, technologies, it's going to depend if they have it on that environment. So you look at the job description, they have all these things in that environment. Trust me, you need to touch everything because there's no way you can say, okay, I want to prepare just on backup and this for this interview. No, you can't really tell what's coming. The only way you can speculate that is by looking at the job description and seeing the technologies that they have on that environment. Based on that, now you can be expecting that, okay, these interviewers might try to ask me questions on this or that. Yeah, other than that, you just need to know everything, a little bit of everything, and put it to.
Okay, how about after the interview? Is it possible like to choose which particular area you want to work in?
That depends on the person that hired you, right?
Okay.
Then every employer has the reason why hiring you. They will not hire you to come and work on this and you come and tell them where you want to work on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
How about preparing now for the interview? What is the best way to go about it?
I think I explained that in the first part. I said that you just need to finish your projects and be able to explain everything that you have done from DB1 to this point. Everything that you have executed, be able to say it.
Okay.
That's how you get ready for the interview. Put all those scenarios, go to every topic, go to backup and recovery. You have a scenario for your backup and recovery. Go to import export, you have a scenario for that. Go to data guard, you have a scenario. Go to patching, you have a scenario for that. Go to every topic. Make sure you have a summary of the most essential things of that topic. And you have now a scenario of your own. Performance tuning. You have your scenario of performance tuning. Just cut across everything, touch everywhere. That's how you get ready for interview.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other question? If there is none, I need to get back to some work.
Okay, I have another question. So I see that you guys work really long hours. Like, is this always the case?
No, it's not always the case. It's not always the case. I mean, some environments are flexible. They give you come time. Like, I started working since 7 a.m. I'm still working right now. Tomorrow morning, I should work half day. That's how my environment is. I don't know about the other ones are different. I'm still going to be working to around 11 p.m. So tomorrow, the extra hours that I've worked after 8 hours today, because I'm a full-time employee, I will cut down those hours from my tomorrow. If I was not full-time, then they'll pay me overtime. The overtime guys in my environment, when they work extra hours, they are paid overtime.
Okay, also, let me ask something. Like you saying you're working now, like, is it like you have a time frame for a particular task for it to be done?
Yeah, I have a task that I need to complete it before tomorrow morning. It must be completed.
All right, so I wanted to ask now, for example, if we are being given the same task, and for example, they say we have 24 hours to do that task, or say 18 hours, for example, or 5 hours. So it means if I am done, like I use like 1 hour, and the other person is not yet done after, like, let me say 24 hours. So like in that case, what's gonna happen? Like if you're not done with your task after the time elapsed?
If you are not done, right? Until you get done.
So that's what I wanted to know. It means you will still be
Yeah,
working
okay, I
on the same
understand you. I
task
mean, you
while
are
your
saying
only
that
time.
you are trying to, you are saying if somebody is more efficient and you are not. That's what
Yeah,
you are
because we are being paid for the time, right? Because you are being paid per hour and stuff like that. So that's why I'm asking you.
I
Taking
mean, if you
24
haven't
hours.
completed a job, you definitely need to have a justification why you haven't done that. If it is something that you're supposed to do in 2 hours and you have not done it in 8 hours, then there's a reason why, right? You run into an issue or something, then there's that justification. If not, then it depends on the person who give you the work, whether go to front you, or he go holler you, or he go call you.
Confirm.
Yeah. So if no other question, guys, it's always a pleasure. I'll probably stop by again when you round up the project before you start your interview section. Then we can talk more of interview kind of things at that time. Like I said, just getting ready for interview is putting together your scenarios and getting all that straight.
Thank you, bro.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Thank you
me.
so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oben. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Anything else before we log out? Okay. So there's nothing else. So we meet on Wednesday for the next step. For the next step, I think it's upgrading from 11.01 to 11.03. Yes. Anything else? Just let me know. If not, have a good night and let's meet on Wednesday. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, brother.